Hey everyone, it's your favorite scientist back with another experiment. This time I decided to see how much weight, and to be exact, fat, can I lose in one day. And of course, I went for no cheating route, the actual results, all the data. What can be achieved? What are the conclusions? Is it good? Is it bad? And I will not hold you up. I will show you exactly first the scale and weight results. So here you can see my weight before it exceeded what is my ceiling. So I decided to do something about it. 190.8 pounds. This is a morning weight after emptying the bladder and fasted, so like 12 hours approximately from last meal, as it was last meal, and a little bit time, then night, then I woke up, and that's the result. Day after, look at that, dropped by over 6 pounds, but of course I follow up with day later and went up a little bit, even though I didn't overeat here. After that, I didn't overeat at all. I ate my usual 3000 calories, but more into what I did. What was the experiment? I went for reducing my calories greatly by having only coffee with skimmed milk. And the reason for the skimmed milk, you can be surprised, why skimmed milk? And there is one huge reason for the skimmed milk. I consumed quite a lot of it. To be exact, 4 pints of skimmed milk, and that's the reason. The carbs, the sugar, lactose. Lactose is basically two sugars connected. It's glucose and galactose. Glucose can be directly used by your muscles, and galactose almost directly. Muscles can accept galactose, they will turn it into glucose. So I have 112 gram of carbs total in 4 pints of skimmed milk, and that was mixed with coffee mostly, because I wanted to see if I can suppress the hunger. Because 772 calories total over a day that I was walking all day, it's very low. So did it work? Did the coffee with skimmed milk work? And the answer is yes, it worked great. I was able to continue to walk for hours, of course with breaks, burn calories, and do not run off power. If you don't know why I need this extra sugar, and as well there was a bunch of protein, which is good to protect muscles, why I needed this sugar is that I know by experience. I was in the past doing a lot of extensive high duration exercises like riding a bike around the country. That was a long time ago. But one thing that happens, if you run out of muscle glycogen, of muscle sugar in other words, one thing that happens, you basically lose all your strength, almost down to zero. You are totally deflated. You barely can move forward. And that would be a real bet for my plan to burn a lot of calories by walking fast. So how much I walked? And this is how much I walked. You can see how much calories I burn by moving. My total calories burned are over 6k, so I'm proud of myself, burning 6,000 calories while eating only 700 something. So 5,400 calories in deficit in one day. That's a lot. That's like 11 days on being on a diet. 500 calorie deficit diet, that would be 11 days of dieting done in one. So 11 days of diet in one day. I'm really proud of that. And it was relatively easily hunger-wise. But look at the distance. It's in kilometers in here. If we translate it for miles, that's 31 miles. That's more than a marathon. And it was possible thanks to the fact that I went for walking, which is relatively easy compared to running, swimming, exercising. It's not high intensity. So it is possible. And you can see the breaks. On the first graph is basically my calories being burned up and down, recorded by Apple Watch. Apple Watch is the most accurate way of measuring it for me available, and I did test it in the past, and it seems to be very accurate for my body. It will vary depending on the person. From my measurements, it's very accurate. I would say plus minus 10%. It can be either a little bit higher or a little bit lower, but something in this neighborhood. So I was able to burn a lot. Now going back to the weight, why is it down so much and then up again? And quick explanation for that is your body stores sugar, stores carbs, however you call it, stored glucose in form of glycogen. And this is very space and weight inefficient storage. Basically, to store around 500 calories of glucose, you take 1 pound of weight. And your body can store various amount, depend how big you are, basically how much muscle you have, but something in the neighborhood from 4 to 6 pounds of weight. So that's why the weight drop is so much, because comparing the storage efficiency of fat, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So 7 times more efficient way of storing calories in form of fat. That's why it looks like that. In total, all it matters is how much calories you have in deficit. Eventually, this will go out of your fat storage, unless you refill it with food. If you don't, it will come out of your fat storage. Your body prioritizes your glycogen storage. That's why the weight goes up. You still burn fat day later, but all the food you eat, all the carbs you eat, go first to replenish glycogen storage, your glucose storage, or however you call it. Your carbohydrate, your glucose, your sugar storage need to be refilled first. That's the priority, because without it, you lose a lot on performance. And just a quick note for the keto people, yes, you have this storage too. Even if you basically eat no glucose, no sugar in your food, your body will turn some of the protein and some of the fat, I mean not necessarily the whole fat, but triglycerides, into glucose to refill the storage as much as it is possible. Your liver will be just very busy. So those were my results. And the most important of all, the hunger cue, almost non-existent. I don't know if it was combination of coffee and walking, or was it a skimmed milk? What was that? Something was there that basically I was not hungry at all. I was just drinking, maybe that's the volume of liquid I was consuming. Because it was half by half coffee, which means 1 pint of coffee, 1 pint of skimmed milk together, no other ingredients, just those two. That's not how I normally drink coffee, but for this experiment, it was my approach, and maybe I should do it more often. Maybe it's just a mixture of skimmed milk with coffee having this suppressing effect on appetite. This is the question I cannot answer yet. Definitely it's not walking alone, because in the past I was walking fasted. I was able to walk 3 hours fasted. After that I was feeling quite exhausted after 3 hours and hungry too. So walking alone will not stop your hunger, but somehow extra skimmed milk, there's something in it. And the reason for skimmed, not full fat, I wanted to minimize the calories. And fat is, of course, high calories. I just wanted to get out of the fat stored on my body. And as well, finally, I have comparison how it looks like me before, after, all fasted, recorded my physique, fasted in the morning, in day before, day during, day after. Well, I mean, day later. And I don't know if it's enough to tell any difference. You can be judges of that. You can see it on the screen. I will show you that. You can look at it that now. And is there? I cannot tell. I think I look about the same. From my measurements of body fat layer on my belly, it was on skin fold about 1 millimeter less, maybe a little bit less than 1 millimeter. So I don't know if it's noticeable at all. You let me know. And that being said, thank you a lot for watching this experiment, and see you again really soon.